welcome back to my channel. My name is Lisa and this is Growing on Vancouver Island. Today, as you can probably tell, it's very windy. We haven't had this kind of wind in late spring in many years probably, but it's absolutely gorgeous out. It's not raining and it's sunny, so I'm not wasting a day not doing anything in the garden. So today I'm going to plant some asparagus and harvest some green garlic. So let's go do it. So this is the asparagus we're going to be planting today. It is called Purple Passion. This is my first time ever growing asparagus, so I'm not making a how-to video. This is just everything I've learned from watching YouTube and doing a few Google searches. So hopefully my asparagus planting goes well, and in a few years we have an abundance of asparagus. I've learned you don't harvest in the first year, so patience is a virtue when it comes to this plant apparently. So we're going to be fertilizing the planting trench or hole for the asparagus with my mycorrhizae fertilizer, the vegetable and herb variety, and also some granular kelp. And we're going to be amending our planting trench hole with sea soil, one of my favorite soil amendments. So now I'm going to dig my trench. So we want to start by digging a hole or trench, ideally at least 18 inches deep. I did not bring my ruler out, but I'm going to estimate. We'll see how deep we can go. So now we're going to amend the soil with all of the fertilizers and amendments. We've got our mycorrhizae. We're going to put a pretty generous amount of this into our planting area. What I read and saw online on YouTube from a lot of different asparagus growers is that typically when you plant asparagus you fertilize it once and you don't ever fertilize it again because it's a long-lived perennial. And I'm not entirely sure if there's another reason why you can't top dress it with more fertilizer, but nobody has recommended that I've read. So I want to get these guys off to a very good start. I just amended with the granular kelp. And now we're going to top that with our sea soil. I also read that you don't want any of your new asparagus roots to touch any kind of fertilizer, so you actually want a pretty good layer of soil or mulch or whatever, probably not mulch. You actually want a pretty good layer of soil between your fertilizers and your new asparagus roots. So we've got our trusty sea soil, my absolute favorite soil amendment. And we're going to give this hole a nice, good layer of sea soil before we put in our asparagus roots. I am going to go ahead and add a little dusting of our native garden soil just for extra protection for the asparagus roots. Although I do think I put an adequate amount of sea soil, I want to be sure that everything is good for these new asparagus roots. So now let's get our roots. It says on the package to plant 30 to 40 centimeters apart. Well, I don't think I'm going to be doing that because I don't have the biggest garden and I do try to get as much food out of it as possible. So I I am going to break that rule for sure, but let me show you what the roots look like. This is my first time ever seeing these in real life. I don't know if you can see it, but we've got, this looks like pretty nice growth here. These ones look a little bit dry now, but this is definitely fresh. And the camera topples over. Hashtag real life on a windy day. Saw before the wind took my tripod and camera away. This is what the asparagus roots look like. We've got some nice healthy growth here. This part looks slightly dried out, but it does still have, like, it's not breakable or anything, so I'm sure there's still life in it. Now, I wonder if they have tied them up. No, I think that's just roots. So we are going to go ahead and put these in our hole. And honestly, I'm not sure if this side goes up or down, so I'm kind of just gonna wing it and hope for the best. Actually, I was right what I was thinking. They said there's 5 in here, and I was like, well, that must be all of them, but no, they are tied up. This is an elastic band, and there are actually, well, are there 5? We're going to find out. They're well tied together, these roots. See if I can get my little elastic band off here. I believe we are free from bandage now. So we've got 1, oh, this is 2 actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I'm just gonna go a little bit deeper there. I don't know if this little piece of anything will grow, probably not, but I'm just gonna throw it in the hole anyways. And we're gonna space them out a little bit further, so I'm definitely not even close to these spacing recommendations on the width, but I am closer on the depth. So we will see how it goes. And now I'm just gonna cover with my native garden soil. And I'm going to put this in as well as a plant marker that I have. Our trusty plant marker. We'll put that in the front area here. And now we just need to water in everything. And from what I read, they say you want to give your new plant a very generous amount of water. So we are not going to skimp on the hydration for them at all. So now let's go harvest some green garlic. So this is my garlic called Music. I planted it last fall, and that was the first time I have ever planted garlic in all of my gardening years. I've gardened for quite a few years, and I just never planted garlic for whatever reason, and I decided to give it a try. It has grown so much this season. Let me show you how tall it is before we pick it. So this is my, we're 3/4 of the way up my leg. This is my shirt, and this is the top of a garlic leaf. Goes almost to my shirt. So I want to estimate these are probably 3 feet tall, maybe even past 3 feet tall. I don't know how tall garlic is supposed to get, but I feel like that's pretty tall. So I've heard that you can create, or you can do different things with the green garlic, both the bulb, which isn't really mature, but mostly the green. I've heard you can make all kinds of dishes with it. So first I'm going to do a taste test because I've never tried the greens of garlic before. So you will be the first to see. So here is the little piece that I have picked. and I'm going to show you my reaction to trying it. Oh my goodness, it's delicious. It tastes very strongly like garlic. I thought it would have a mild flavor because it's a green and it's not quite mature, but oh my goodness, it is delicious and quite strong actually. So, gives me a good indication of what I should cook with it, because I think I want to use it in moderation. So let's pick a few of these immature garlics and see what they look like. Which one should we go for first? Should I go for a larger size or a smaller size garlic? I think I'm gonna go for a bigger one. There's a bigger one in the middle here. So this is what the leaves are looking like. There aren't really any browning on them. There's a tiny bit of yellow. I'm thinking that's probably normal for this time of year. We've had a ton of rain recently. So I'm gonna go for this one right here. And let's see what that looks like. Ooh, that's interesting. Let's take a closer look. This is the full garlic removed from the ground. And I'm gonna give it a little wash and just see what the bulb looks like. I don't even think it really has a bulb yet. But I would say there's no real bulb yet, but man, is that lush foliage, and that's gonna be delicious in a meal. So this one is called Music. Now I am going to pick one of the garlics that my elderly neighbor gave me in the fall around the time I planted garlic music, and see first what that one tastes like and what it looks like pulled out of the ground, because I'm really interested to compare the varieties. He didn't tell me the name of it, but it looks quite different than this one. So let's go harvest one. So here is the garlic from my elderly neighbor. It's not quite as tall as my music garlic. And the leaves actually, to me, look quite a bit more delicate. These ones look, if I was to compare them, I'd call this like daylily foliage, but they're not daylilies, they're definitely garlic. Whereas my other garlic looks like leeks to me. So quite different, but let's harvest one of these and check it out. Ooh, that one at the back looks pretty robust. So, wow, that is deep-rooted stuff. Okay, so here's a quick look out of the ground. What do these guys look like? I'm gonna give it a rinse and show you the bottom portion. So here is the mystery garlic from my neighbor. And again, it doesn't look like there's really a bulb, but I didn't really expect one yet. And let's compare the foliage here. Well, maybe it's not that different, but a little bit more delicate than my music garlic. So now we're gonna do a taste test. This is the garlic I just picked. So we're gonna take a leaf from here. There we go, nice leaf. And I'll turn the camera around and you can see what here we have the mystery garlic from my neighbor that I'm going to sample. Interesting. This garlic tastes 4 times less powerful than the music garlic that I planted. I find that quite interesting. So I can use this more in like a green salad versus my other garlic, which I'll probably use in Italian pasta or something like that. So that's going to be all for today. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Have a lovely afternoon.